Just going to begin today's flow by lying flat on our backs, hands by our side with the palms up to the sky. And just begin now to bring awareness into your breath, feeling your chest rise and fall with every inhale and every exhale. Imagining that with every exhale we release tension and stress, and with every inhale we breathe in peace and positivity. And in this moment, just setting ourselves an intention for the practice, telling the universe what you would like to release and let go of in today's practice. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, you can bring both knees into the chest, hugging them close here and just gently massaging the back by moving from side to side. And then taking the hands onto the knees and just separating them, you're going to gently begin to warm up the hips by moving the knees one way and then moving and taking them in the other. Just beginning to open and stretch the hips with this beautiful and gentle movement. And then releasing the feet flat into the mat and keeping the knees bent, we're just gently going to bend the right leg, bringing the right ankle on top of the left knee and pushing open the knee to the side. You're going to open the hips here. If this feels alright, you can thread your arms through, taking hold of the left leg and bringing it closer, taking the left leg into the sky. If this is too intense, then simply bend the leg back to the mat and stay here in the figure of 4 stretch. Ensuring that we keep the right foot flexed at all times to protect the knee. But if your left foot is in the air, you can begin to take some circles with the ankle, just warming and stretching it here, taking it one way, taking it the other, before gently bending the left leg back to the mat and releasing the right foot down. And then taking the stretch on the other side, so bending the left leg and bringing the ankle to the right knee, flexing that foot to protect the knee. You're just going to come again into your figure of 4 stretch, keeping your leg in the air or on the mat, just honouring what your body searches for in this practice. And then taking some ankle rolls if you like, with the right leg, before releasing the right leg down to the mat and releasing the left leg and windmilling the knees from left to right before coming in to our butterfly pose. So bringing the bottom of the feet together, just going to open the hips here by allowing the knees to fall to either side. If this is too much of a deep stretch for you, then taking blocks underneath the knees, allowing them to rest here. And just stay here, feeling your breath, or taking your hands over your head, taking hold of your elbows, and feeling this full body stretch from the hips to the spine and the shoulders. And just staying here for a few moments, allowing the hips to open up naturally and allowing the body to stretch. When you're ready to come out of the stretch, just removing the blocks from underneath the knees and moving the knees back into the center and bringing them once again into the chest and just hugging them close here, rocking from side to side, massaging that lower back before allowing them to fall all the way to the right side briefly, taking our gaze to the left, and then bringing them into the center and allowing them to fall to the left side, switching our gaze here, before inhaling and allowing ourselves to fall all the way over to the left hand side and bringing ourselves up into a comfortable seated position. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, take the arms all the way overhead, and exhale, we're going to bend the elbows coming into cactus arms. Inhale, take the arms overhead, and exhale, bend those elbows, opening the chest. Inhale, the arms come up, and exhale, the arms come down to the side. And this time when we inhale, we're going to leave our right hand in the sky, left hand comes to the mat, and we're just going to stretch over to the left hand side, opening up the side body here, before moving and taking this movement on the other side. So left hand comes overhead and right hand comes down to the floor, opening up the left hand side of the body now. And then releasing both hands down to the mat. We're just going to move into our tabletop position now, checking our alignment, so wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we're just going to take our knees into a wide leg stance here, so really separating them and creating some space, and just working through some cat-cows here. So we inhale, drop the chest, and exhale, push into those hands, curving the spine. Inhale, we drop the chest looking forward, and exhale, curving that spine, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, drop the chest, and exhale, curve that spine coming all the way up. Inhale, drop the chest, then exhale, push into those hands before dropping the chest once more and pushing into our hands. Beautiful. And then taking the big toes together, keeping the knees wide, you're just going to grab a bolster or a pillow or a blanket, or if you don't have anything, just coming into our regular child pose and just allowing our chest to relax down into this beautiful restorative position. Just closing the eyes and relaxing down here for a few moments, gently opening the hips and stretching the back. Inhaling and exhaling here. And on your next inhale, I'm going to move the body up, move the bolster or the pillow to the side and come back into our tabletop. Before moving into our puppy pose, so keeping the knees under the hips, just going to take the arms forward and allow the chest to come all the way to the floor here, taking our forehead to the mat and just stretching the shoulders and the spine in this puppy pose. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. And then when you're ready, you're going to take a deep inhale through the nose, gently moving yourself back into a tabletop position, rechecking your alignment here, and then exhale, taking out the right leg behind you, before bending the knee, bringing it into the chest and stepping forward to our low lunge. Taking a moment to balance ourselves. Before inhaling, we take the arms overhead, and exhale, we bend the elbows, come into cactus arms. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, arms come up, and exhale to cactus. Inhale, the arms come up before taking both down to the mat and stretching out the hamstrings here by walking the hands back and straightening out the right leg. All the way back and then moving all the way forwards. And just taking this movement a few times here. Very gently, not forcing or pushing here. This time when we move forward, we're just going to move the right foot to the side a little bit. And then taking the right hand, just going to push open the knee here. So really stretching the hips, taking the gaze to the back of the room. Beautiful. Before releasing the hand back down and coming into our lizard pose. So both hands to the mat. You can tuck the back toes and come all the way up or stay down on the knee. And just taking some movement forwards and backwards, stretching the hips a little bit more. And then when you're ready, moving the knee back, coming into tabletop and taking a knees down chaturanga. Pushing into the upward dog. And exhale, come back into your tabletop to take the movement on the other side. Stretching out the left leg. Going to bend the knee, bring it all the way into the chest and stepping forward into your low lunge. Inhale, the arms come overhead and exhale to cactus. Inhale up, exhale to cactus. Inhale all the way up and bend these elbows, come into a cactus. Inhale, cactus. Before inhaling, taking both hands to the mat. And again, stretching those hamstrings, stretching the glutes by walking the leg back and walking it forwards. This time when you come forwards, just walking the left foot out to the side a little bit and gently pushing open this knee, stretching the hips here. Beautiful, not forcing too much, just gently stretching before releasing both hands down to the mat, tucking the back toe and coming into your lizard pose. You can keep the knee down here if you desire, but just gently moving forwards and backwards, stretching the hips, the hamstrings, the glutes here. Beautiful movement. Before releasing the knee down, moving back into your tabletop and taking a knees down chaturanga, releasing all the body down, pushing back into your upward dog and then releasing the body all the way down to the mat, taking one hand on top of the other and relaxing the head down here for a moment. I'm just going to bend the left leg so the knee comes in line with the hip, flexing the foot and coming into your half frog pose. Really feeling this delicious pose as you open the hips, but keeping that foot flexed to protect the knee here. Just stay here for a few breaths. Gently inhaling and gently exhaling. And then, when you're ready, you can allow the left leg to come back straight onto the mat and then bending the right knee so it's in line with the hip. You're going to flex that foot and take the stretch to the other side. And then releasing the right leg back to the mat. Just going to bring the hands to the chest and push into your upward dog. And then tuck the toes, move into your downward dog. Pedaling one leg, pedaling the other. Before walking the hands all the way back to your feet. Taking hold of each elbow and coming in to your ragdoll here. So just gently relaxing the back. Swinging from side to side before releasing the hands, bending the knees and moving all the way up to standing when you're ready. And then just taking some movement at the top, so taking the hips in one way and then circling, moving in the other. And then stepping your legs wide and bringing your feet parallel, just coming to a wide leg stance here. Bringing the hands to the hips. Just going to inhale, take the arms all the way overhead, and as you exhale, going to bend the knees coming into your forward fold. Ensuring that you're putting just as much weight on the heel and the toe, keeping you sturdy here. And you can take your hands to the ground. You can rest on a bolster, either lengthways or widthways. Finding anywhere that is comfortable for you here. Head could be on the mat, anything. And just staying here for a few breaths, feeling that stretch on the hamstrings. If it's too intense for you, then maybe walking the feet a little bit closer and bending the knees. And slowly coming out of this position by inhaling, taking the gaze forward. And then exhaling, pressing into your hands, bending the knees and bringing yourself all the way up. Inhale, take the arms overhead, intertwining the fingers behind the back. On your exhale, you're going to fold from the waist, allowing the hands to come overhead, stretching the shoulders and stretching the hamstrings here. Again, if it's too intense, then take the hands a little bit further back, but just staying where you feel comfortable, embracing this stretch. Come out of this pose. Again, we're going to bend the knees, slowly bringing the body all the way up. Inhale, take the arms overhead, and exhale, folding from the hips, coming all the way down. And we're just going to gently move from side to side, bending one knee, bending the other, making beautiful movement, almost as if it's a wave. And then if it's available to you, you're going to bend all the way over to the left hand side, stretching the right leg here, keeping the hands on the mat to keep you balanced. If it's too intense for the knees or for the ankle, then move back. But if it's alright, you're just gently going to move to the other side now, straightening out the left leg here. Breathe in and breathe out, before gently moving back into the centre, moving heel to toe, and coming into your Malasana Pose. So you can take a couple of blocks and place them underneath the bum, bringing the knees to the side, hands to prayer center, and just coming into the restorative version of Malasana, as it's quite an intense hip pose. So getting yourself settled here, using the elbows to open up the knees. I'm just going to spend a few moments finding some peace here in this pose, feeling this deep hip stretch. Perhaps closing the eyes and concentrating on the breath. If you feel okay, then just staying here. But if you search for perhaps a deeper stretch, then just releasing one hand to the mat and sweeping the other arm overhead, coming into a twist. And then gently releasing the hand down and taking the twist to the other side. And this time, when both hands come to the mat, just gently move forward, bending the knees and come all the way into your forward fold, taking the blocks to one side. Bending the knees a little bit, stretching the hamstrings here. Maybe taking the elbows, coming into ragdoll. Before gently bending the knees so much that you place the hands to the mat and move back into your down dog. Stretching here before placing the knees down to tabletop. and then coming to sit all the way back in Hero's Pose or any comfortable seated position. And just taking a moment to tune in to how the hips feel so far in this practice. Calming the breath from these forward folds. And then when you're ready, we're going to move into our Pigeon Pose. So coming into tabletop, you're just going to take the right knee to meet the right wrist. And you come back to sit on the bum, bending the left leg and come into a modified Pigeon Pose. Or you can take the full expression by coming all the way forward onto the right hip, stretching out the left leg. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, lower the chest all the way down. You can take a block underneath your right hip if that feels comfortable. If not, remain here in this Pigeon Pose for a few moments, finding comfort in the discomfort here by breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, bringing the fingertips next to the chest, you're going to inhale, take the gaze up and forwards, then exhale, move back into tabletop, and then taking this pose to the other side. So bringing your left knee to your left wrist, sitting back on the bum and bending the right knee if that feels comfortable, or coming into the full expression by allowing the right leg to stretch out. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, lower the chest. Pigeon Pose is a beautiful restorative pose. Just to open the hips, stretch the hamstrings and the glutes. It's a beautiful pose that teaches us to be patient with our practice and to find comfort in the discomfort here. Unless you're feeling sharp sensations, then stay here. And once again, when you're ready to come out, bringing the hands next to the chest, you're going to inhale, raising the chest, looking forwards, and exhale, move back into your tabletop, crossing the ankles on the back and coming into a seated position, taking the legs all the way forwards this time. Coming to sit on your sit bones. We're just going to bend the knees, giving ourselves a little hug here. And then if you have a bolster, you can use it here. If not, there's no worries. Just going to take your legs wide, sitting on your sit bones, bringing the back of the hand to the mat. I'm just going to allow the chest to forward fold here. If you have a bolster, you can place it in the middle of your forehead, allowing this practice to become a little bit more restorative. But the longer you stay here, the more open your hips will feel and the more forward you might be able to come. With our palms up to the sky, we're fighting against that urge to pull ourselves deeper and just allowing the body to go with gravity, with our own flexibility. Feeling the stretch in our back, how open our hips feel in comparison to the beginning of this class, and just feeling this body sink further and further to the mat. If you have a bolster, maybe removing it here and just allowing the body to fold forward without any obstacles. And then when you're ready to come out, you're just going to inhale and gently bring the body all the way back up. Bring the legs back together, coming back onto the sit bones. You're going to inhale, take the arms up to the sky, and exhale, forward fold over the legs, taking hold of the shins, of the ankles, of the feet. Just coming into one of our final forward folds here before we have a look at some back bends. When you're ready, inhale, come all the way back up to seated, taking the hands behind the back, palms facing forward. You're going to inhale, pushing the hip bones up to the sky, counteract this forward fold, and then releasing the bum back down, bending the knees. You're going to bend the right knee into the chest and taking the foot over to the left hand side, just going to hug this knee close and twist over to the right hand side, closing the hips here. If you have a little bit more flexibility perhaps with the knees, with the hamstrings, you can bend the left leg, wrapping it around and bringing the knees to stack up one on top of the other and allow the body to forward fold over these knees. If not, stay with the first modification. Inhale, bring the chest all the way back up, and then releasing both the legs. We're going to take the twist to the other side, so bending the left leg, taking the foot over to the right hand side, hugging the knee close and twisting over to the left. Again, stay here if this feels comfortable, or you can bend your right leg, stacking the knees one on top of the other, and forward fold once more. Then inhale, bringing the body back up once more, unwrapping the legs, and then taking the bum forward. You're going to allow yourself to relax all the way back into the mat, bringing both knees into the chest and hugging them close here, just rocking from side to side. Then moving into our happy baby, just going to separate the knees, perhaps taking the hands underneath the knees and staying here. Or if you can grab the outside of your feet, coming into happy baby. Whichever pose you choose, just going to ensure that the whole spine is connected to the floor. So really pushing back, keeping those arms straight if you're holding your feet. And just staying here for a moment, stretching the hips one last time. Moving the knees back together and bringing the feet flat into the mat. If you have a block or a pillow or a bolster nearby, just pushing the hip bones into the sky and taking this block underneath your sit bones here, coming into your supported bridge pose. Find the place that feels comfortable for you and just relaxing here. You can take the arms overhead, taking hold of each elbow. You can bring the back of the feet together, coming into butterfly legs. Or you can keep the knees up in the sky, feet flat on the mat. Finding whatever suits you and your needs now. And just relax here. Feeling the hips, the chest, the shoulders stretch and open. Knees back together. It's going to push into your feet, lifting the hip bones, removing the block from underneath you. And then stretching out one leg, stretching out the other. Taking the hands overhead, just coming into a beautiful full body stretch here. Pointing the toes, pointing the fingers. Before relaxing into the final pose of Shavasana. Hands come down by your side. Relaxing the feet, the hips, spine, shoulders, head here. And just imagine as you lie here that every time you exhale, you feel your body get heavier onto the mat and your mind become calmer. Perhaps repeating in time with your breath, let go. Feeling the mind calm, the body heavy, and the breath deep here. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana, however long as you would like. But if you're ready to come out, then just taking a deep inhale through the nose, exhaling as you bring both knees into the chest, allowing them to fall to one side of the body, taking the hands underneath your head like a little pillow. And then moving yourself all the way up into a comfortable seated position, rolling back those shoulders and bringing the hands to prayer in the center of your chest. We're just going to take some cleansing breaths here. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale all the way through the nose and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale, let it out with a sigh. One more time. Inhale so super deeply before opening the mouth and sighing it out. Then resume normal breathing. Thank you for practicing this calming yoga flow with me today, and I hope to see you again soon on the mat. Namaste.